What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to review the Crash Team Rumble Beta, talk about if I liked it, didn't like it, and more importantly, talk about what this means for the base game. Do I think the base game can last a long time? To be honest, the reason why I throw that out there early is that has always been my main question, and it probably should be, or at least maybe that's a subjective thing, when a game is multiplayer, right? A huge emphasis, and it wants to be around long term, right? You got the battle passes, multiple months long, additional characters. The game wants to be around for more than like a couple days. It's not a single player, you beat it in 10 hours and you're done. So can the game actually do that? I still have worries. I will tell you flat out in the beginning of this video, I still have worries of if this game can make it past a month or two, right? And what do they need to do in order to make this game last? But I will tell you this. This game actually is a blast. 100% this game is a lot of fun. And so let's start at the beginning. I jump in, you do the tutorial, and then you start doing some matches. And you say, okay, I've seen a lot of this game, right? I've seen other people play it. I've covered it quite a bit on the channel. I feel like I'm pretty into this game. I kind of know what the point of it is supposed to be. All right, is it going to actually work? You don't really know until you get in, because the idea of collecting these fruit, but then you got these gem pads, you got the abilities, you got your character, they're each individuals, they do their own things better than others, they do some things worse than others. How does it actually feel? It works. There's actually a surprising amount of strategy involved in this game. You really, I wouldn't say you have to 1000% play your role, but there is definitely roles you have to do. You can't all be doing the same thing. You have to kind of trust in your teammates. Now, actually, I played this game hours and hours and hours without a microphone. So I didn't talk to a single person online when I was playing these matches. You kind of get into a groove. If you have a dingo dial, you know what they're supposed to do. And again, now they could break from that a little bit, right, if they want to kind of go off the beaten path, but they do have a role to do, and you as a different character kind of trust that human being playing as Dingodile, they know what to do as him, and then they go and execute it, and you do what you need to do. There's a surprising amount of depth there. You have to pull off sometimes. If you're trying to get a Aku mask, right, that ability, but the other team is piling up, fruit in their thing, you may want to defend their base a little bit more. You may want to go over there and kind of block them out. There's multiple different ways of playing this game, and also the game does function like a Crash game. It was something I wasn't exactly worried about it, but I was definitely interested, where again, you watch it and you see all these things happening, and again, there's strategy and the characters play different. Is it gonna feel like a Crash game? Yeah, it actually does. When you play, well, as literally Crash Bandicoot, it feels really good, and you do feel like you're in a Crash video game, just a multiplayer one, right? Dingodile, Cortex, they all feel really good. Now, I have my personal favorites. We did a video a day or two ago talking, kind of ranking all the characters. I definitely don't think they're all even. I think some are a little overpowered. I'm looking at Utana, and you kind of feel them out, and you kind of feel, okay, this one I enjoy more. I like their strengths more than another character's strengths. It depends on how you want to play it. But I think the general idea of this game surprisingly does work. And I'll say this, something that I found while playing like long sessions of this game, like I feel like, okay, I've probably had enough, like I'll probably quit. And then you get into like a really exciting match. I played a match as Cortex. I think it was the longest match I played, and it was certainly, for my memory, it was the closest match. We won by maybe 20 or 30 fruit, and we were neck and neck pretty much the whole game. And it took forever, but it was awesome. It felt strategic. You really had to play your role, and you felt pressured that, okay, like I got to do my job. I got to trust in others. We got to slow the other team down. And so I guess why I'm saying that is you can keep playing, and even if you're on a winning streak or a losing streak, you might get frustrated. You might say, all right, I've seen all there is to see about this game. And then you just enter a match where it's just, it just feels different. Maybe it's the characters that you're playing as, or your team is playing as. Something spices it up a little bit. And it's like, oh, that kind of reinvigorated me. I want to play this more. And that's no joke. That's what happened. That's actually what that Cortex match did. I had like a winning streak as Tana where we won like 5 or 6 games in a row. And it's like, this is fun. Like, this group that I'm in not only is very talented, but we gel. We're all the same characters, one match to the next. Not the exact same, but we're sticking to the same character. And we kind of just know what we're supposed to do, right? Like, we're having a lot of success together. And I didn't want to quit. It's like, well, number one, I don't want to lose this team. You know what I mean? This is a dream team right here. So I think the game has longevity to an extent. Now, the one thing I do want to focus on, for the second half here is the weaknesses. I don't know if the game's going to last super long term. So yes, is it fun for a 3-4 day, beta stretch? It definitely is. Now, you could say, well, Alex, there's going to be more characters, more maps, more modes, and they say that in the game. Like when you load up the beta, they say, just so you know, there's more stuff coming when the base game launches. It's going to need it. It's absolutely going to need it because I can't imagine, well, I mean, again, like to look at it just as the beta, 3 maps, 1 mode, 5 characters, it's definitely not enough. It is enough for a beta because that's exactly kind of what it's supposed to be. Get your feet wet, figure out if you even like the idea of this game. And I'll tell you, if that's the goal, and it is, I'm in. It sold me, okay? I didn't know 100% if I'd like this Wumpa Fruit collection thing, and I do, okay? And the characters do feel unique. They are individually kind of fun to play as. You got to build a team. It did what it needed to do. Now what it needs to do is last long term. So it comes out end of June. This game needs new maps consistently. It needs new characters, because I do think when you add a new character to this, you change the dynamic big time. Number one, you're giving a character to us as players that you can either fall in love with, or maybe they're kind of in the middle, or maybe they're one of your least favorite or your worst characters, in the game. But at least you kind of can factor that in. Okay, so there's that. Then you have other people playing as them. So now you have to fight against them and fight with them, which changes up your strategy. Maps, right? New maps, new strategies there. The gem positionings, or the gem pad positionings, are going to be slightly different. Maybe there's different abilities that you can use the relics for each one, right? All this stuff. I think that's really going to enhance the game. But the thing is, they're going to have to do it often. Different modes will obviously help, and having new modes every month or 2, 3 months, right? Every season or whatever you want to do, that's going to be the biggest thing for me. So they absolutely sold me. I mean, technically I bought the, you have to buy the game to get into the beta. So I bought the standard edition. I already have it in a sense. So I'm in. And I think the base game is actually a really good time. I just struggle to know how long that'll last. It lasts for a weekend. It lasts for 4 days. Sure. Can it last for 4 weeks? Can it last for 4 months? That's a lot of time, and I don't know if it's got it. But yet again, like I said, every time it kind of felt stale when I was playing it like live on my couch, okay? Every time I felt like, all right, I think I've played enough. I've played it for several hours, in this play session. I'm going to get off. You just have a match that's kind of like, all right, everything came together and I feel good, so let me keep going. But will that happen for months, right? Will that continue to happen? I don't know. So let me know what you guys think about the beta in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.